Hello. First, I want to apologize for the mic quality on this recording you're about to see. I did not realize I have two microphones, of course, and I just got this new webcam and whatnot set up, and I did not realize that my Windows recording had automatically set over to that microphone. So I've been trying to use my headset microphone, and I am a little low and a little far away. Please turn up your volume. The game sounds are loud, but they are not that loud. There are no monsters. There are some weather, but not that bad. I do apologize in advance, and I hope you enjoy this response video, and I hope it helps. Hello, Coe, and hello, Coe's Quest viewers. This is QS14 here with a little reply video. This is kind of an addendum to Shinaki, I'm not sure I get his name right. Shinaki the Lost, I believe I said that right. Railcart video talking about boosters and some of the options and things like that he could do. This is kind of an addendum to that with some other various options and some more Minecart boosters and the booster tracks, not using any actual booster carts in any way, shape, or form, while trying to keep the integrity or the what Coe has built, what you have built, Coe, intact as much as possible. Please feel free to use this, and of course this resource between the two of us is inspiration, and do what you will with it. So first, a couple of notes. This is using 90% of the materials you already have from the dog fort. So this, all the gold that went into creating these boosters here, 90% came from there. Iron as well, and other various materials, ladders, etc., to get up to this point. The other 10% was done by actually mining some gold out of the caves by the portal in the water base in order to get enough to finish the two tracks. These are two full tracks powered from Coe's HQ to the minecart station, and from the minecart station to the water base and back. Both work 100%, and I will be showing the entire procedure. Also, the first track here is not very economical in the way that it uses boosters, whereas the one going to and from the water base is much more economical in how many boosters it uses and the speed, which you will see. The base has the complete auto dispensary method intact without use of cart boosters, and I'll be showing that in detail. I'm also using what I call two types of powered mine tracks. We have the always powered, which basically has a redstone torch basically hidden or right beside it, of course. That's a standard way. And then I also have what I call a self-powered minecart booster track, which basically uses bidirectional pressure, Lord, I'm losing my train of thought. Lord. I guess they're detectors, minecart detectors, as it comes by. So as the minecart comes in, hits the trigger, it powers the mine rails, and then it goes off and comes the other direction. Same thing because of this one. You can safely do this bidirectional with at least, bidirectional with at least 1, 2, and 3 powered mine tracks. Any more than that, you're going to need extra momentum to make sure that you can do that. If it's going to be one way, I wouldn't suggest any more than 3. So, quick explanation for those who are not familiar with powered minecarts and how this works. If a powered minecart is placed on a powered track, like right here, it will not move because it doesn't know the direction. If it's coming this way, it'll get pushed this way. If it comes this way, it'll get pushed that way. But if it's just placed on here, it will not move. It needs to either have a stopping point like this, where there's only one way for it to go. This will allow the minecart to move. Or it needs to be placed on some sort of slope. Good lord, John, I'm nervous, I guess. Shouldn't be. Slope in order to power itself anyway. So, as it is known, you go ahead and power the minecart and it goes through, and it's going to show both methods. These methods are good, especially for this bridge here, because it allows you Coe to use either way that you want. Obviously the Self-powered makes it much cleaner. You don't have to worry about trying to hide redstone wiring or redstone torches or anything of that nature. It's just completely powered, and it's also very economical. It only uses iron and some smooth stone, but the choice is yours. I just use a combination of the two here to show how it works. So for this very long stretch there, you might not have seen it, but there was 4 powered mine tracks with a self-powered one. There's enough momentum to get us through the entire circuit in time before it is turned off. If there's not, you would stop in the middle of it. So it's very important that if you do 4 or more, that you make sure you have enough power. So not much has changed here until you get to about here. Now, as we stop on a slope, a powered minecart slope, of course the tracks, when they're not powered, act as brakes. It brakes the minecart right here, so we can get off safely. The minecart doesn't move very much, but it does move a little when you're on it, so be careful with it. Just keep it on the slope. And as you can see here, there is a pressure plate that we can step on to power it and send the minecart on its way. So everything here is pretty much intact except for the changes with this and this. So let me take it by the numbers. All the redstone wiring up top is intact. The only redstone wiring that was removed or changed was, of course, the redstone wiring for the actual boosters and things. All that was removed. And as you can see, I've got a relize to prove it. So let's go down. So as you can see, things have changed a little bit. Some of the redstone is still intact. I didn't even bother to remove this redstone at all, whereas other redstone is also still here. This is a door PES dispenser. This replaces the old PES dispensers that can be used with powered tracks. This has been around for a while and used to use booster carts. But you can easily be adapted to use powered tracks, and is a very efficient way to do a PES dispenser using powered tracks. Since the old PES dispensers would place it on basically a block with no track to keep it from stacking, you would have to have a powered or booster cart, if you will, or something come forward in order to push it off and then get home. This doesn't require that for 2 reasons. The door acts as a stopping. There's enough space here, just enough to let the carts come in. There's basically ladders on the side here. I'm not going to go through construction too much. You can look it up, and it's the same exact thing, just minus the booster carts. But there's 2 spaces here. There's enough to push it in here. The ladder keeps it steady on the edge, as the door holds it in place. Once the door is open and closed really quickly, the minecart will flow through onto the track. And since this is blocked, of course, there's only one here for it to go. That's the extra minute. And then we just have boosted tracks to get it all the way up to the top. And we have an automated dispenser. This works pretty much consistently. I've had little issues with this design. The original designs for the door PES dispenser uses an iron door. Regular door works just as well, but if you are doing a multiplayer, it's a good idea to use an iron door so people can't just open it and close it at will, I guess. This uses very little redstone in order to make operational. It's just a simple little circuit here. The actual redstone line from the pressure plate to some of my part comes through here and hits these 2 circuits. Now you can stand on the pressure pad. This also works with a button. But if you have a pressure pad, you can stand on that pressure pad all day long and there will be no carts sent. It is until you get off the pressure pad even, that it will actually send a pulse through this repeater, which sends a very quick opening, closing, and sends 1 cart through. The only issue with this is that sometimes if you're having power like this, it doesn't quite line up right, or the other issue is getting it started, the cart doesn't quite get placed properly until you have at least 1 pulse. So sometimes for the initial it takes 2 to get it running. other than that, that's the only thing that's still intact and changed here. But it is still a complete 100% automated system. So our arrivals pushes our carts in to that Pez dispenser. We stand on this plate, this gets powered, sends it out through and loads it up. When we step on this plate, we can stand in all day long, nothing will happen, but we gotta come off of it. Once we come off of it, the door opens and closes really fast, and the minecart is dispensed into the loading position. Just like this one, it breaks here at the top one, ready to go, and we have a button close by, so we can hop in the cart, push the button, and we're off. Works 100%. Like I said, I've had little issues with the door Pez dispenser, and makes a very viable alternative to the other systems being developed right now. There are other powered minecart dispensers being developed right now, but they are still rudimentary, pretty early from what I've seen, and they also take up a whole lot of space from what I've seen. So that'll probably change in the future, but this is a good alternative method that works and still uses absolutely 0 booster carts. So I'm gonna head back to the Coe's HQ real quick, and then I'm gonna head back to the station, and then we'll head over to the water base, and you'll see how that has changed and how the economical tracks work. By economical, I'm just meaning I use as few booster tracks as I can, but you'll also notice that speed is very different. Now you might notice this is not all the way against the track, just give it a little bump. Sometimes there's enough momentum to get it all the way there, sometimes there's not. It's always a good idea to push it all the way against it anyway, just to make sure that there is enough room or enough power to keep going, because if it isn't, there's a little gap that will not notice, and it won't, of course, go. I understand how reluctant and how troubling you are about having to redo this system. I've redone my entire subway system in my LP, which is, not as big as yours and not as long as yours, but it's pretty complicated, especially at my stations. But the amount of tracks and line products and stuff that I've gotten returned out of it has made up for a lot. And as you can see, these are all the tracks. I didn't make a single track. These are all real tracks that have been saved, and at least 10, well, at least 6 to 10 minecarts that you now have available because of the boosters being removed. The good news is, if you don't want to do this right now, it's still working. I don't know if it's going to be a fixed 1.6. I know it's a big bug fix patch, so it might. But if not, at least the boosters are still working, so you can leave this intact as you have it right now, and hopefully it'll take away from both of our vids some ideas and inspiration of what to use. So let's go to the water base. Obviously the water base is a little more of a challenge because of how long it is, but it's not too difficult. Just tweaking with the mine carts, or the mine tracks, power mine tracks. It's, like I said, this is a much more economical version than the one from HQ, and you will see the speed difference, especially on the way back. The 4 boosters are very good at getting through these diagonals with little issue, though you can do it with 2 or 3 if you have enough pre-momentum. Like that one was only 2, but again, this one isn't that long. Also, Coe, if you did not know, or if anyone else who doesn't know, powered tracks, the booster tracks, do boost, continually boost the minecart to a specific speed. They are speed limited. They basically do have a cap, whereas the booster carts do not have a cap on their speed. Can't remember exactly how high it is, but it's fairly high. And as you can see here, we're slowing down quite a bit because we're getting much more economical with the boosters, especially on that last ad. We didn't use as long to get through it, and now we've slowed down a bit. We're still going much faster than walking, though. I can promise you that. I've walked these tracks. Oh yeah, we're going much faster than walking. As the weather dies down, we are approaching the base. See, I've spaced these out just enough to give us a boost through them. It's kind of nice because it gives you some time to look through this area and see out. So, like I said, you can easily vary the speed and keep it cart moving, at least with a passenger in it. Empty minecarts don't go very far, as it's been noted before. You also can push storage chest carts using boosters. They go fairly far, and you can boost unpowered minecarts, but they don't go as far. They don't go very far at all. So here we are, the old underwater base, and now we'll head back. Again, this is very economical. I had to mine out the extra gold to make these last few boosters here on this track, so it becomes, like I said, very economical. But it is enough to get us there and to get us back. Hopefully this way you can actually see the difference. If you want to keep a constant speed, basically you don't want to speed the minecart up a little bit more. Use only one booster track, and that will keep it at a constant speed about every, I don't know, what is it, 15, 20, I think it's 20, 24, something in that range, spacing wise, and it'll keep the minecart at a decent speed, because each time the minecart hits a powered track for the first time, it basically resets its momentum. Any additional tracks in that same line will boost the minecart speed. So that's roughly how it works. Obviously, the more mine tracks you have, the faster it will go, but it's not necessary. If it's actually spaced appropriately and consistently, like the loop is, as you saw in the other video, it can make it go much, much faster. And now we're pretty much home free. We've sped up considerably, of course, because now we're in the much more boosted areas. I'm very pleased with how this came together. It took a little longer than I expected, and that was because of the extra mine tracks and getting the materials for it, and of course spacing them appropriately. But it wasn't too difficult. I hope you take some good inspiration and ideas out of this video, and of course the other video by Lord, I'm horrible with names. By the other. Sorry for the motorcycle. Sorry for the loading as well. I usually don't do that. Anyway. But there you go, Coe. I hope you and everyone else enjoyed. Hopefully everyone gets some ideas about this. If you want to learn more about Lper dispensers, there are of course some great videos out there using the old booster minecarts that you can look up. It was very detailed. I also, of course, have it in detail in my videos as well, as when I change my stations. Okay. That's all I wanted to share. I hope it helps. Take care, everyone.